There it is. The question is simple. What happens if you're consistent for 30 days? What happens to your life if you're consistent for 30 days? What happens to your business for consistent for 30 days? Can you even be consistent for 30 days? Hey, my name is Bruce Hill. I make sales simple by teaching you to ask better questions. I help businesses grow by teaching their leaders and founders to ask better questions. I help you have better conversations by teaching you to ask better questions. So I try and practice what I preach. Ask myself a question. What happens to the business if I'm consistent for 30 days? I don't know. Because I'll be honest, I have great ideas. I have big ideas. And then I get distracted on a different big idea. And the problem is, so you're like, oh man, this is a really great idea, for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And you have another great idea. And so then you're doing that for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But you don't realize you quit the other idea. It's actually why I grew my hair. Hold on. Length check. Oh, you can't even see it with this. I hadn't cut my hair in 10 years. I was like, what happens if I just didn't cut my hair for 10 years? Consistency. That's where all progress happens. It's not in the intensity, it's with the consistency. So check this out. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna walk you through. It's April 2026. We're gonna figure it out together. What happens if you're consistent for 30 days? One of my favorite quotes. We'll have a little inception here. We might have some folks join us. Um, this is, let's see, screen one, screen two. This was supposed to be a webinar, but guess what? I didn't tell anybody about it. See, registrations, zero. So what's it? You didn't tell anybody. Guess who shows up? Nobody. Nobody. And I think that is real fun to be like, oh, I had 1,000 people show my webinar. I made $1 million from this and that, the other. That hasn't happened yet, right? No cap zone. They don't show you when things aren't going well. So I'm holding myself personally accountable. And there's no one's fault but my own. But I want to show you kind of the baseline. All right. So there's a couple things I'm gonna do this month, and this is one of them. Let's look at a calendar real quick. Can I pull up a calendar? And I'm gonna give you a copy of the calendar. It's gonna be in the show notes. Here we go. So there it is, 7 p.m. turning conversations into clients. I'm gonna do four. I've got something this evening, so I'm not gonna make it. That's the commitment, is four webinars for the month of April. This is the first one. Here's two, three, and four. That's the first commitment. So for 30 days, what happens if you're consistent? So for the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, I need to be telling people there's a webinar on the eighth, how to turn conversations into clients. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a sales leader, you're a founder, especially shout out to my SaaS founders. You're wearing a lot of hats in those first 2, 3, 4 years. This one's for you. It's how we make sales simple without expensive software, without AI, without hiring a bunch of people. How do we turn more conversations into clients? How do we hear yes more often without sounding salesy? How do we create new revenue, raise funds without compromising who we are, right? Remaining authentic to who we are. So, all right, that sounds great. Man, I need to be there. Well, go tell people. All right, so that's number one. Number two, let's see here. I'm going to do four workshops. These aren't even on the calendar yet. I need to add them. See if I can add them now. One moment, please. Look, we're just gonna do this together. I don't have access to edit this one. That's fun. It's my calendar. Hold, please. It's gonna be four workshops. Guess what it's gonna be on? Turning conversations into clients. How are we doing that? By teaching to ask better questions. And there's gonna be a couple of additions. I'm actually really excited about this. Let's see here. One moment. I gotta make sure there's nothing private on the screen. Cool. Go. Right, here's the calendar. Let's go to get it to show us a week. And this is the boring part. This is where I get in trouble because I don't edit anything. It's just gonna be live and in color. There we go. There we go. There's a week. So Saturday. All right, there's the webinar. So see Saturday, 11 a.m. I'm gonna put here my wonderful keyboard. Actually, yeah, I think CPAs is this Saturday. If you're in the Atlanta area, I'm gonna update that one. You're a financial professional, life insurance, CFP, educator, tap into this one because the goal isn't to turn you into the killer closer or the master manipulator, right? We want to turn you into the version of you that hears yes more often, right? So I want you to be your authentic self, but you are hearing yes more often. So we're going to duplicate this one. No, not delete, duplicate. And we're going to push it to the 11th. So there's 4 Saturdays in the month. So it's going to be 4 workshops in person again. Um, if you're in the Russell Center, tap in. If you're in Atlanta, tap in. Let's see here. Where is, oh, I think it's still lost. There we go. Let's go to manage my events. And what I did, I'm testing it. I really want to see what happens if you're consistent for 30 days. And so there's 2 questions. Where do you want to end up? And what are you going to do for those 30 days? All right, look, we've got one ticket sold already. Beautiful. So the 11th is going to be for speakers. Excited for that. Shout out to all my speakers. If you're a professional speaker or aspiring speaker, I'd love to hear what topics you teach on. Leave those in the comments. And one of the things I'm gonna tell you, can I talk to my speakers real quick? Stop to share. If you, if you're a speaker, podcaster, trainer, authenticity is going to be your superpower. Okay. Authenticity is your superpower. In 2026, we can deep fake videos for free, effectively. You can edit things at a professional level in seconds. Authenticity is going to, it's going to be in-person events and authenticity, which is why I'm doing in-person events. And that's another reason I don't edit these. So if you hear me stumble over words or mispronounce something, I mean, you can comment, I guess, let me know. I don't care. It's just me. Um, Maybe one day I'll hire a professional editor, maybe for like a speaker reel or something. It's just so easy to manufacture content that when you are the content, that's the only way you can stand out and be competitive and be valuable by being yourself. So I don't want to change you. I just want to help you hear yes more often. How do we do that? It's asking better questions. That's how we're going to turn more conversations into clients. All right, let's go back to the entire screen. So you got this one for speakers. Let's duplicate this one again. Not delete, duplicate. Come on now. There we go. Duplicate. And so for the 18th, we're going to do, let's see here. The 18th is, oh, we're doing a session for podcast hosts. That's lit. Shout out to the podcast hosts. You all don't realize, I mean, maybe you do. Asking better question is how you have a better podcast, right? Better questions, better podcast. It's that simple. Man, I'm really excited about that one. We're going to teach you how to never have a boring conversation again. We're going to teach you how to um, have conversations that flow, that attract more listeners, that attract downloads, that get re-listens, that get shares. And I'm fired up. And it's just by asking better questions. There's no software to buy. There's no 12-month long coaching package. I do have an intensive for folks that really want to build these skills and practice them and need a little live help and accountability. That's not why I'm here today to share. It really is. You spend about 2 hours with me, your podcast will never be the same. Confidently, full stop. Actually, you know what? Somebody clip that for me. What does the streamer say? Chat, clip that. All right, last one. Um, Sales made simple for coach. Look, I got one for May 9th. I didn't even remember doing that. Sales made simple for BDR, SDR. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Let's see, for coaches, shout out to all my coaches, especially if you're IFC certified. I don't really want to talk to you all. You guys, I don't know. I don't have anything really nice to say about it. If you genuinely care about the people you serve and you're passionate what you do and changing lives and business for the better, this one's for you. We're not going to change who you are. We're going to multiply who you are. I feel like a lot of times people get stuck into a box. They get stuck into how things are supposed to be done, and they lose this creativity that makes you an amazing coach. So this is going to multiply your creativity. We're going to operate um, with integrity, right? We're going to be ethical, but this is going to be a multiplier, and it all stems from asking better questions. So let's zoom out here, and again, I'll get you a copy of this calendar. Um, it'll be in the show notes. Actually, you know what? Success loves speed. Where is, I think it's this one. Yep. I'll put this in the show notes. Look, it's live and in color. That's me, yours truly. Mm, can I leave? I can put this in the description. No description has been added to this video. Okay, we'll add it. Put it in the chat. Figure it out later. Oh, I can't edit the chat either. Okay. I guess I still got some things to learn about YouTube. Edit video. Can I do that while I'm recording? There it is. No, it's not for kids. I mean, kids can be here. I don't curse, but this is really for anyone that wants to multiply what they're doing and wants to level up. All right. So let's go back to it. So what have we done so far? We've got 4 webinars. We've got where's the one for coaches? There's podcast hosts, there's coaches. Whoops. Okay, I did this one twice. So let's do speakers. And then we'll duplicate this one. Duplicate will be the last Saturday of the month. And this one's for coaches. Beautiful. Okay, we're back. 4 webinars. Guess what we're talking about? Asking better questions. And what are we doing with those questions? Well, specifically, we're turning conversations into clients. But this could be better coaching. This could be better hiring. This could be better business decision. This could be raising funds from investors. And it could be sales. If you learn to ask better questions, I'm telling you, it's going to transform your life and business. Saturday, in-person workshop, we're going to dive a little deeper. The webinar is going to talk about what and why. Workshop is going to be talking about how, and that's where I can tailor specifically for CPAs, specifically for speakers, specifically for podcast hosts, specifically for coaches. We have to talk about how do we apply this to our life and business. All right, so this is part of answering the question, could you be consistent for 30 days? Well, there's 2 things I told you. Let me go back here. You know what? Somebody remind me to get a Stream Deck. There's 2 things you need to know. Where are we going? And then what are we doing to get there? That seems obvious, but I want you to think about it. If someone's like, "Hey, can you give me directions?" Sure, where are you going? Ah, it doesn't matter. What kind of directions are you going to give them? You're like, then it doesn't matter which way you go. If you can tell me what book that's from, I'll give you a copy of my book. Better questions, better clients. So there it is. And by yours truly. Forward by my amazing friend, Dr. Jetta Robinson. So we got to have a destination. So my destination is I really want to tell 3,000 people that I'm teaching you to ask better questions. It's not even a sales pitch, like buy my course, buy this. That webinar is free. The workshop's free. So Bruce trying to sell me something. You want to buy some? I got some for you to sell. But uh, there's so much value without you spending any money. You're going to get results. And then you're going to ask yourself the question like, wow, we can do that for free. What happens if we pay them? So we got a destination, and we got steps to get there. We can evaluate our day to day based on where we want to end up. So if I say, hey, I want to generate more revenue in my business, then I can simply put that lens, that filter on my activity and say, hey, does this activity help me generate more revenue in my business? So I could build landing pages and websites and business cards, but how many people did you tell today? So here's what I'm doing. And that sign up, now that I think about it, was probably just from today because I just posted it today. Let's talk about, shout out to my friend Denise, the money lady, professional speaker, and just a wonderful person. All right. And there's Bill McCleskey. See what Bill's doing? He's telling people. He's telling people about his business. So let's go to my profile. I want you to see something. I try to live by example. I told you this month, my one thing is telling people to ask better questions. So up here, asking better questions toolkit. You can download that there. Why should you download it? Got a little checkbox there. Increase sales, transform exposure, right? A little freebie to give away. Okay. Then here, my name is Better Questions. What do you do? I make sales simple by using the Better Questions framework. Great. Um, Services. I think that needs updating. But let's take a look. You know what? Let's take a look. In the interest of being transparent. Got a case study on there. Sales success from my business. Okay. I need something that says asking better questions. Let's keep going. Where do you see your posts? Let's see, featured book. There's book, better questions. That's it. That's all I'm doing for this year. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Do you think curiosity can be taught? It's a simple question. And the punchline is I can teach you to ask better questions. Are you seeing a pattern here? There's the training. And again, we had one sign up today because this was posted 9 hours ago today. And then what else? What if the next level of success was just 4 questions away? Yesterday, asking better questions. This was actually just a helpful post on how to see things chronologically. My accountability partner, he used a better question. Can we see this? Can we zoom in? I kept your question framework in mind for a discovery call this week, sent out a proposal, and they accepted it within a couple of days. That's all I do is teach people to ask better questions. And I need practice. My partner will tell you, she's like, sometimes you don't ask any questions. I think she'd be listening to my trainings, y'all. I'm getting better and better every day. And as I get better, I teach people to get better. But I don't teach anything I haven't done. I make sales simple by teaching customer facing teams to ask better questions. That's the whole post. Oh, you know, it might be helpful if I share the screen. I'm gonna leave that in there too. How do I go back? That's hilarious. What how long the screen's been on? All right. Do you think curiosity can be taught? You heard me read that. Pause it if you want to read the whole post. All right, hope you paused it. There's the workshop, right? Listen, I made this in Canva. It took me 5 minutes. A lot of times we do things, you can spend 2 hours in Canva. Honestly, if it gets to that point, I'm gonna outsource it. Um, what you need to do, what you need to focus on is telling people, right? So I got one attendee, and that's gonna go up as I tell more people. There's a video of me talking about asking better questions. There's a post of me sharing better questions. This was just informational. This is what I was reading to you. Pause it if you want to read it yourself. Oh, my accountability partner asking better questions, right? In this post, this is where I realized I wasn't sharing my screen. Short and sweet. I make sales simple by teaching customer-facing teams to ask better questions. That's marketing, that's sales, that's BDRs, SDRs, that's customer success, right? We're going to teach them to ask better questions. Um, that's it. So that was 4 days ago. 4 days ago. One day ago. See, I'm not consistent. That's where you got to hold me accountable. That's why I'm making this video to remind myself. This is video number one. 30 days of accountability, of consistency, of asking better questions. Of telling people, hey, Bruce, I help people ask better questions. I wrote a book called Better Questions. The next book is going to be called, guess what? Asking Better Questions. Um, hmm. I'm using LinkedIn primarily. I also have an email list. I actually got in trouble of walking people through like me sending emails because I guess somebody's name popped up or email address and it was like, this is sensitive data. And they blocked my video. So I don't do that anymore. Um, I want to show behind the scenes, but you got to be careful, be respectful of people's privacy. Let me refresh there. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. I think I'm going to stop there. The question is, can you be consistent for 30 days telling people about your business, right? 30 days in a row. 30 days in a row. And now maybe you're not an entrepreneur. Let me stop this again. Maybe um, Maybe you want to get in shape. Maybe you want to learn to play an instrument. Maybe you want to write a book. I'm actually working on that right now. Oh, that's what I should talk about tomorrow. How to write a book. Um, Whatever it is, what would happen if you did a little bit every single day for 30 days? That's the better question for you. What would happen? Now, unless you can see the future, which will be pretty impressive, um, you're gonna just have to go see. You're gonna have to go see. So here, check this out. One more thing. Actually, three more things. I- You let me know if it's valuable to you. This is just documentation for me. Shout out to my cousin Tasha working on a podcast. And again, we're just focused on being consistent. So these are going to pop up. Actually, you know what? I need to put that on the calendar too. We're going to do one of these a week, right? Till we hit 100 episodes. Then we're going to look around, see what's happening. Now, but this is what I wanted you to see. 325 subscribers, 606 videos. They say something happens at 1,000 videos. Uh, I don't know what that is, right? They say, yeah, that's what it takes off. How do we get there? Let's find out. Let me see something here. Number of days left in 2026. There's 275 days. So, uh, 400 divided by 275 days. What? Come on. 400 divided by 275 days. There we go. So, at 400, where did I get that number? If I'm shooting for 1,000 videos, I need 400 more, right? And if there's 275 days left in the year, if I post twice a day for the rest of the year, I'll hit the goal this year. It doesn't have to be this year. I'm not in a hurry. I'm consistent. Um, but it might as well be this year. You want to get there. I like what one gentleman said. I want you to get to success faster so you can enjoy it longer. Yeah, let's just call this two. Let's just call this two. Two a day. So this is one. And then I posted one. I think I posted a short. There it is. This is a throwback. And here's one thing that makes it really difficult to be consistent. And that's why I love showing this. Let me make sure I'm sharing my screen this time. Okay, beautiful. 54 views. That's not a lot to get excited about. Three views, 190 views, 16, 248, 123, 15. That's really tough. Interesting. I got to see why this one got 132. Um, it's really tough to get excited because you're not getting a check for that. It's not really bragging numbers large, but the goal isn't to, or I hope it's not, at least not for me, to impress people or to break a record. The goal is just to be consistent. Now, since I'm consistent in my business, ultimately I hope to see that show up in revenue. And I know it'll show up in revenue. The question is how much. And look, there's my book. It's really just about consistency. This one got 1.5. That's interesting. Shout out to my buddy Michael Tucker. He asks good questions. He's a good podcast host. I think that might be the most, 1.5. Do I hear 10? Do I see 10? Nope, it's work to do. Can you keep going when you're not seeing results right away? Can you keep going when there's only 36 views, three views, two views, four views? Can you keep going when no one's applauding? Can you be consistent for 30 days? So that's the other one. So LinkedIn, webinars, it's and they're different mediums. I'm not trying to be the expert at any one of these. I want to just be consistent. Oh, I just thought of something. One moment, please. Change this. Must be at least, oh, that's why I didn't change it. 1024 by 526. That's random. But let's go ahead and do that right now because now is always the best time to do these things. That's something else, man. Success loves speed. Here's the trick. Here's the trick. You want to do it right now But for my ADHDers, this is second one is very important. You have to finish what you started. So you can't do something else till you finish the first thing. Where did I put that? I think it's in here. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, perfect. So let's see. I'm not too good at Canva, y'all. Listen, look, I make sales simple. I'm not the Canva expert, but there should be a resize. Here we go. Uh, mm, 2000 by 1152. Okay, custom size. There we go. One thing though, I promise you, you can figure it out. You can figure it out. Oof. I don't know if I love that. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Let's do this. If you're a Canva designer and you love doing this stuff, call me. Let's just center it. Let's see. Right there. Why not? Download. These are the things, if you're not careful, you can spend hours and hours doing, but it's not telling people. It's not creating conversations. It's not, so let's say YouTube. It's not generating revenue. You're just busy. You got to be careful. And that's why that question is so important. Is does this put me towards my goal? What in the world? Fuel on all devices. Oh yeah, I gotta adjust this. Okay, wait. Let's say cancel, change. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Interesting. I definitely have to rearrange this. Viewable on desktop, viewable on all devices, viewable on TV. Okay, we're learning something new as we go. So I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna move this here. Let's put it, where's the center? There we go. That's, it's funny, this channel is called New Skills, New You, and this is exactly why. The one skill I'm focusing on for the month of April 2026 is asking better questions. And the question is very simple. Can you be consistent for 30 days? Now, we're learning how to create things in Canva. And I'm being very bad at it. There we go. Done. All right, let's go to here. Save refresh. Maybe. Oh, publish. There we go. And refresh. All right, I'm gonna center it. I'm gonna play around with it some more. Maybe even put it some on this side. But the goal is to get this number up. That's the one that moves the needle. That's where it's searchable. That's where people can find, they can learn more about you. That's where they can like, comment, share. That's what moves the needle. So that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing for 2026. All right. I'm gonna go send some more messages on LinkedIn. Thank you for being my accountability partner. I really love to hear what you're doing for the next 30 days. Actually, I don't care when you see this. Maybe it's April 2027. Go be consistent and watch the world change. So, once again, my name is Bruce Hill. I make sales simple by teaching you to ask better questions. I help leaders be more effective by teaching them to ask better questions. And I help podcast hosts have amazing conversations by teaching them to ask better questions.